Hey, it's Dr. Toby here. In this video, I'm going to tell you what an acdf is and whether or not you should get this to relieve your neck pain. So let's jump right into this video. All right, so what exactly is an acdf? Well, first of all, acdf stands for anterior cervical discectomy fusion. Now, what does that deal with? All of the parts of that abbreviation mean something. What it means is that it's a surgical procedure where they're trying to solve the issue of neck pain, whether you've been diagnosed with something like arthritis in terms of your neck area, or bulging disc, herniated disc, some type of injury condition that has led to severe chronic pain that they feel like this is the only thing that can be done, or this is the last ditch effort and this is probably the best thing that they're going to be able to do to solve that neck pain. Now, anterior means that's the approach. They're going in through the front of the neck area, and what they're doing is they're going to slice that open and be able to access the areas that are painful. So for a lot of people, it's going to be their C5, C6, C7. Maybe you got a report from your doctor. They're talking about a recommendation of acdf, and they have the particular levels of your spine, you know, the different areas where you're feeling that pain and that's contributing to the pain. Maybe there is some kind of nerve impingement that they're expecting this is going to solve. They're going to go through the anterior of the neck. They're going to fuse that disc, those levels. And so the cervical word, or the word cervical, just means that part of the neck. So your cervical spine is the neck area. Once you get down to like your lower back, that's like the lumbar spine. That's the medical or technical term. So they're going into the cervical area, which is the anterior part. They're going through the anterior, and then what they're going to do is they're going to remove the disc. So what you're going to see from this picture here is that you have the actual spine, the bony part of the spine of the vertebrae, and then you have the disc, which is like a jelly-filled kind of content. And so what they're going to do is they're going to remove whatever is left of that jelly-filled content, and they'll put spacers there. And what they're going to do is then put a plate on the front of the neck of those bones and fuse them together. So at those levels, wherever the plate is, you're not going to be able to have any more movement forward in terms of being able to like bend your head or things of that nature, because that place is fused. So the discectomy means that they're removing the disc. So that jelly-filled kind of thing that spaces the bones, all of your vertebrae have a jelly-filled kind of content that separates the actual vertebrae and allows you to flex and move and turn your head and do all those different kind of things. And so that provides lubrication and also provides leverage for movement. They're going to put a spacer there that's going to prevent you from being able to do that forward head motion, things like that. So it's really going to limit that motion at that particular region. So some people, they're getting several disc fused, like 3 or 4, or sometimes people are getting like 2, things of that nature. Probably 2 or 3 are really most common. But what you'll see from the pictures are that essentially what's going to happen is they're going to go through the anterior part, put the disc plate on the front of it, put the spacers between, and that's essentially the surgery. Now, this is considered a major surgery. So for a lot of people who are just overall afraid of the idea of surgery, they're wondering, should I actually get this as the solution to my neck pain that I've had for so long? Well, the answer is very simple. The answer is the surgery will only be the solution is if you're solving the root problem. And what I'll tell you is this: most people, if you haven't already done conservative types of methods, and I'm not talking about pain medications or injections, what I'm talking about is actual in-depth assessment and treatment to address not only the pain, but the root problem. And if your problem actually is stemmed from weakness, meaning weakness of the muscles that has led to arthritis and has led to wrong posture in terms of how your joints are sitting within your neck, then what happens is the surgery is not going to correct that issue. So think about it this way. Most people are thinking about, hey, I want to get out of pain. But what I always have to let people know is that although you don't have to live in pain, and you shouldn't live in pain, pain is not only negative, but it's actually informative. And if you don't understand what the pain is informing you of, what happens is you'll do everything that you can to get rid of the pain without getting rid of the actual problem that caused the pain in the first place. And so what we found with a lot of the clients that we've worked with who've gotten the surgery, we've had people who got a surgery, they did therapy, and then they had, surgery again because the surgery didn't go as well or things happened, right? And so a lot of times people are still experiencing chronic pain afterwards, even though for the most part, people will tell you that, well, the surgery is typically 85 to 95% successful, but the success is measured by different things by different people. The success of the surgeon may be different than what you define as success, because for a lot of people, they still may be living with chronic pain, limitations, not being able to do all the things they love. So they start off wanting to get out of pain, but then the other problem they discover is after they got the surgery, even if the pain has reduced, their problem is they can't live life the way that they want to. They're not able to do all the activities that they would love to do, being able to sleep comfortably, or being able to, do as much as they would like to do as far as being active and being able to do things without having limitations, like playing with their grandkids or doing other kind of activities that, even though they're not at pain or in pain on a regular basis, they still feel limited. And so that creates other problems for their lives. And so what's the issue here? Well, the issue here is that, number one, will this surgery help me to address my pain? Well, or should I get the surgery? And the question is, have you already done the conservative methods that are going to help you? And I don't just mean typical massage, chiropractic, physical therapy, because a lot of times the care and the support that we're getting provided is just trying to relieve the pain. But if you're only focused on relieving the pain, you're going to miss out all the information that the pain is supposed to be pointing you to, so that you can fix the root problem. Now, what's the root problem? Typically, the root problem is going to fall into a couple of categories. And I want to hopefully share this very quickly for you so that you understand that the root problem is the main thing that you want to think about. Think about it this way. Pain is not negative. Pain is informative. And yes, we all want to get rid of pain, and you can get rid of pain. You don't have to live with pain, but you need to know the information that the pain is trying to give you. Now, when people have, let's say at your house, you have a smoke detector and the smoke detector is going off. There's a lot of things that you can do to get that smoke detector to go off, or to stop making the noise, right? Or the fire alarm. You can actually remove the batteries from the smoke detector. You can actually crush the smoke detector. You can do a lot of things to get the noise to just stop being made. And that's what people do when they're just trying to get rid of the pain instead of fixing the problem. They just want to do whatever it takes to get the pain to stop making noise, to stop signaling to them that their body hurts, that their body is aching, but they don't know why that signal is going off. And so you can take pain medications, you can do injections, and do a lot of things that seem like, well, I've treated this for so long. I did a lot of things. I went to therapy, and all they're trying to do is give you pain relieving mechanisms, putting an ice pack or a heat pack or all these different things, and doing some basic exercises. But what happens is you're doing a lot of things to relieve the pain, to get the body to stop making the sensation and the noise of pain, but you're not addressing why the noise is being made in the first place. So the same way, if there's a smoke detector that's going off in my house, I don't just want the smoke detector to stop going off. I want to stop the thing that made the smoke detector go off in the first place, right? It can be a very tragic situation if you just get your smoke detector to go off, but the reason why it's going off is still brewing, and it even gets more problematic over time. So if there's a fire somewhere and you're like, oh, I don't really sense anything or smell anything going on, maybe you don't now, but maybe it's an explosion that's about to brew. And so what happens is people get the poor kinds of care, and they're getting this pain relief stuff that's not going to fix the root problem. If you fix the root problem, you'll eliminate the pain completely. And so for a lot of people, the problem is that their muscles are weak. Their body's no longer supporting their muscles because they're not living an active life. They're not doing the things that are going to help to support their joint health and improve their joint health. And so that causes the collapse and all of those other kind of challenges. So what happens from there is, when you fix the root problem, like weakness or wrong positioning of your joints that have happened because of weakness, then what happens is you'll see that you can actually survive without surgery. You can be pain-free without pain meds and feel incredible without injections. And so these are the things that we explain to our patients. So for an individual maybe who gets into like a severe car accident, they're probably who has severely fractured their their body in terms of their spine, their neck. That's definitely going to be a situation where surgical procedure and intervention is going to be needed. But for a lot of people who've been kind of just going through the healthcare system, the medical system, and they've just been getting this like Band-Aid kind of care, hey, take this pain med, take this injection, do this like physical therapy kind of thing that's not really working, just trying to relieve the pain. It's not thorough. It's not getting to the root problem and fixing that root problem. Well, a lot of times they're going to find that, well, a lot of stuff didn't work. And then the doctor is going to say, well, let's just try the surgery. The success rate is very good. And then after that, those are the individuals that typically are going to find that they still have pain and problems, because once you get the surgery, you're only addressing one facet of the issue. It's like you're addressing the branch, but not the actual root of it. So There are different things that are going to work differently for different people depending on your situation, but I encourage you to get a thorough assessment in terms of understanding how to address the root problem of what's actually causing the pain, not just relieving the pain. You will relieve the pain if you address the root problem and remove that problem. Getting that fix is going to make your life all the better. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, leave a like and a thumbs up. And please share a comment of what you found helpful about this video and share it with somebody because this can change their life. And I'll see you in the next video.